Off right now. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of a gaming podcast. My name is Marcel MG14. I'm here with some lovely people talking about a very slow news day I heard. So we're gonna be checking out some MK news. Nothing happened. We're literally grasping at straws here. But Caboose, how are you doing, man? How was Spider-Man? How was MK? What's going on, man?
I've been really addicted to Mortal Kombat right now. Actually, I've been really enjoying that. But I'm definitely like I'm like foaming at the mouth until next month when I can get my hands on Spider-Man 2, because that preview, like I've gone to a couple of hands-on events for certain games, but yeah, Spider-Man 2 was the most impressive one I've been to. Yeah. And yeah, October 20th cannot get here soon enough. I think if your expectations are high, they are absolutely going to, at the very least, be met and most likely exceeded with that game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a big claim.
Right.
No, because I'm going into that event like I'm like, okay, I know it's unrealistic, but like I'm hoping for and expecting a lot out of this. And you know, people were complaining about certain web swing animation, this, that, a lot of nitpicks out of that PlayStation Showcase demo. But I was like blown away. Like every new little nook and cranny I was discovering about it, I was like, oh my God. Like they're not just like slightly expanding on the last game. Like this is a huge, like they're doubling down on everything and they're really going all out with Spider-Man 2. This is going to be like the Arkham City for Insomniac. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I think you're onto something. I think it could definitely be Insomniac's Arkham City. I feel like it's already on Insomniac's Arkham franchise in a sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I'm going to hold you to that.
So
if I'm angry, I'm going to find you. I'm going to swing to your house. You'll be like, this is not what you said it was, but I'm pretty sure it will be.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
So what you're telling me, you're playing Mario Wonder on October 20th.
Exactly.
Okay,
See, you read between the lines there,
exactly,
Marcel. You know?
Exactly. Make sure you guys check out his hands-on preview on Caboose's YouTube channel as well. Sammy, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Literally since like yesterday was a little news coming out in prep for Tokyo Game Show. This morning I was glued to our Discord chat because there was like so much going on. But yeah, super excited for this one. A lot going on.
It's probably like the best 3 a.m. news I've ever had because I was waiting to like put out my Logitech stuff. That was the embargo release for the new products today. And I'm like, I actually missed to hit enter to like release my own information. I'm like, what is happening right now with Xbox? So we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Steve Saylor, how are you doing, sir? The only Steve. You got rid of the other one. About time.
Yes, I'm slowly
only
taking
one
over.
shall
Boot him out of the way.
Steve Saylor is the one. You're my
That's right. There can only be one, damn it. Only one.
There can only be one.
No, I'm doing okay. I'm finally getting at least a little bit more over the cold I had last week. So I just have this nasty cough. So at any given point where I like, don't make me laugh because it'll make me cough, and that's difficult because I can laugh at pretty much anything. Anyway, no, I'm doing good. I kind of echo the sentiments of Caboose's like thoughts on Mortal Kombat 1. I will say this. So I am reviewing it so that my review won't be out by the time this episode airs. Like it'll be coming out relatively soon just because I've been sick. I had to delay a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 is the perfect fighting game for blind players.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is
That's
awesome.
That damn good. It covers so many things for blind accessibility that I honestly can't think of anything that they could have added that would have made it a better experience.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Really good.
That is based on my personal opinion and just my knowledge of accessibility, but obviously blindness is a spectrum, and there could be obviously areas where they may have missed and sort of some things in here. And there's some nitpicky things I could basically say that are not could be improved upon. But I think what NetherRealm and the consultants that they had for this basically hit it out of the park with this, and it makes it so that you can play pretty much every aspect of the game with a little bit of extra practice and a little bit of you can figure just like how anyone would be when you go into a game and go into the game and to pick a fighter. You want to learn the moves, you want to learn their move set, and you want to be able to figure out how to be able to best block certain types of moves. It gives you all the information a blind player needs to learn how to be able to do that. but also doesn't sacrifice that accessibility for when you're jumping online as well.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
I could say, you know what? No. I was gonna give my score for it. For it, but
Save it
No,
for the
you
review.
say
Let's
that.
Yeah.
We'll drive the
Save it
traffic
for
to
you.
your channel for when the
Yeah.
review comes around.
Dangle,
And I
dangle that
love
carrot.
watching
You
your
know?
reviews.
yeah.
I love watching your reviews. I feel so educated, like after, because like there's so many things like that I don't experience, but you and the blind community does. So it's like very like I'm gonna be tuning in. So don't give away the score.
Yeah.
Don't spoil
Okay.
it.
You're
Don't
def-
What
spoil
a
it.
title.
Yeah.
That's a perfect clickbait title. It's like MK1, the perfect game for blind gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might
No,
be-
that's
it might be
really
that.
great to hear. Honestly, I mean, it sounds like it's paid off that they had like people that they consulted on for accessibility with this game. And I mean, you learn more and more as time goes on. Even in the competitive scene, how many people may be like visually impaired that would need some of these accessibility features in order to compete. And it's awesome that from what you're saying, Steve, they've seemingly knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that for the most part, a lot of fighting games had already had a built-in accessibility for blind players without even really doing a lot to it. So they just took it that little extra step just to be able to kind of cover everything, and which is really, really amazing. And it's like, it's definitely going to be a learning curve for blind players because you have to obviously learn how to, like what the audio cues are for each of the moves and how to be able to do any special combos and how like what works best and how to be able to get them like to be able to execute them properly. But everything is there. It's like it gives you all the information you need as a player to want to play, jump in and just have some fun, or to actually learn and practice. And I could definitely see a lot of folks are probably gonna, like a lot of blind players are probably gonna jump into the competitive scene for playing Mortal Kombat 1 because of it. So it's extremely well done.
That's awesome. Well, we'll dive into more Mortal Kombat in just a minute here because we have a face we haven't seen here in a while. Camille, how's it going? What's going on?
I've missed. Well, apparently my voice isn't going on.
You missed your voice, apparently. Yeah.
I missed y'all so much. Like it's been way too long. The whole point of this was so that we see each other more often as well. So my bad. I failed that.
Okay, I know. It's just me. I know it's me because of the Death Stranding thing. I get it.
I didn't want to say. I thought this was an episode where Caboose wasn't going to be here, but
I'm glad you mentioned Death Stranding because now there's no excuse. It's coming to iPhones.
iPhone 15 Pro.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh.
So Death Stranding
Nice.
while on the go now, to say.
I'm going to be
Features to
playing
help
it.
you go to sleep.
Jesus, Caboose.
They're really
back
going
for like
on.
less
Apple's
than
going
10
all
minutes.
out. They like we want to stop people from taking melatonin, so we're gonna put Death Stranding on the iPhone.
Yep.
You know what though? Honestly, I could probably like the soundtrack for that game. There's some really good tunes if you like want to just mellow out.
Oh yeah. I will agree. There's some good music.
Okay, that's all. Just clip that. There's some good. Just clip that.
Just
part.
cut out the music part and
Yeah,
it's just me
exactly.
saying there's good Death Stranding. Like it's all
There's
chopped
some
up.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do like a rough edit
no,
of just
but
like Death Stranding is good. Death Stranding.
It'll be on Twitter in 3 days. Don't worry.
Yes. Yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Sammy
Where's
and
that AI
Fenway.
bot of Caboose when we need it?
That's right. That's
I know,
right?
I you know what? We have a friend that does AI stuff. I'm gonna have to have him put
Oh,
like Caboose's voice in the
Gonna make a
generator
Caboose
to
soundboard?
like loving
no,
just Death
no.
Stranding. Have Caboose love Death Stranding. But no, honestly, I miss you all so much. I've been so busy with work, traveling. So it's just great to like be home for a few days and then travel again next week. But
guess-
yeah.
This is our perfect opportunity to ask, like, how was Nintendo Live? Because we didn't get your experience.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I haven't been to Super Nintendo World, but I feel like that is like, if you haven't been, like, that experience at Nintendo Live is giving you like a taste of that, because
Nice.
just how they built these booths out was just insane. It was like classic E3 prime days, like just like the prime time for E3 when like everyone had killer booths. And I don't know if you remember, there was one year I didn't go to E3, and it was when they were having the Breath of the Wild booth. And I don't know if y'all remember seeing pictures of that booth, but
Which
it's
year
like
was that?
20s. Was it 17, 16, 20?
Okay, 17 maybe the one that I missed as well.
Yeah, 17, right? Yeah.
Okay.
But seeing that booth, I was like, they had Clouds, they had Link, they had the Guardian. I was like,
awesome.
Oh my gosh. So seeing all these huge like builds was pretty cool. And then also seeing all the characters. There's a Kirby. Like I never even knew that. There's a Kirby like live that you could take photos with. There's also a Pikachu that's very, very short, by the way. I don't know who's in that costume. But Pikachu jumps or like does this bounce thing. I thought that was really cool. They debuted the Peach. They have like a different version of Peach at Nintendo, Super Nintendo Land, but then they have like this Peach that like top notch. So it was really cool. And then like a part of my hosting duties was also talking to a lot of kids and like seeing these kids and just their eyes light up when they see Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, all the animal KK Slider.
That's awesome.
Like it was like if we were to go to Super Nintendo Land as a kid, like that's how we would have that. Like it was just really nice seeing that.
As
and
a
then they
kid, I mean, I'm still doing that now.
Right now.
I'm
not gonna lie.
I almost tackled that Pikachu when I saw him. Like, oh my god! I'm like a whole foot taller than him too. So
yeah, and then they had the orchestra every single day, and every single like that was when we were taking our breaks from filming. So I would stand there and obviously in tears for the Legend of Zelda orchestra. And then like a baby, like there's these kids that are like, yeah. And meanwhile, I'm the adult standing in the background just in tears. So it was like definitely one of those moments I'll never forget. Goes right up there with doing the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom launch event.
Awesome.
So
that's awesome. Yeah, no, I didn't even see you at all, but like every day I was just following you on Instagram and everything. I saw Victor Lucas on stage for like very briefly, but that was pretty much it. But it was like they had like a full-fledged like the items there, and for Smash Brothers, like literally each items that Bayonetta's guns and everything, like the Kirby hammer, they had a Kirby car, like the full inhale Kirby car and everything. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the mouthful Kirby mode. And then they also had they had the like Super Mario Brothers Wonder, like this huge, like I don't think no one knew it was gonna be on the show floor to play, which is like pretty great, like seeing everyone's reaction coming in and they're like, oh my gosh. And then they had like this huge display and oh my gosh, like the flowers, you know how the Wonder Flowers talk, like the little flowers in the level? I was taking a picture, didn't realize this guy's like water. I'm like, who's reminding you? Why is chat here reminding us to hydrate? Like, what's going on? So it was like really, really cool. I'm actually a fan of Prince Florian, who's like the little caterpillar. Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to playing that game because I like to play more Mario games with family. So I'm going to be playing, I think I'm going to be bouncing between Spider-Man and then playing Super Mario Brothers with like my family.
Awesome.
I think that's good balance.
Yeah, that's good balance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now we're going from Mario straight to Mortal Kombat right now.
Perfect transition.
Today's the launch day for Mortal Kombat. Caboose, you had a chance to play it earlier on. You also went to. Was there anything in LA for that, or was this just Spider-Man?
No, nothing for Mortal Kombat. Matter of fact, I would have had a little bit more time to get ahead on a potential review. But obviously, Spider-Man. But yes, so it's out now. Yep. Officially, I think like we're past the premium edition early access. Yep. So it's officially out, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. But there's weirdly some things missing. Some things that I feel like it's odd to me as to why they're even missing. Like when it comes to gear and customization, instead of how they did in MK11 where each character has like 3 pieces of gear that you can customize, it's just one specific gear piece that everyone unlocks. Even like suits or skins and stuff like that, like there isn't a ton of variety. Yeah. So I felt like customization wise, they're missing some things, but I imagine they're trying to live service the game, so maybe in a couple of months from now there'll be a lot more in there. But Invasions is fun. That's a cool new mode. I think I'm enjoying it. It's a bit of a grind, you know, as with pretty much any crypt type mode that they've had in the past MK games.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's fun. The story I thought was really strong. I
find the story is
mode.
the greatest thing that's ever been told. I played through the whole story. It was a very, very awesome story.
I think the final boss was really anticlimactic. Like I
for 11.
I flawlessed the final boss in MK1.
Yeah.
In MK1.
MK1, yeah.
Oh,
and I was playing on medium difficulty. And usually, like when you come up against the final boss, it's like they up the difficulty. You know, if you're playing on medium, they'll put the final boss on like hard or something.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was just I like rolled over that final fight. And so because of that, like it made the ending feel a little more anticlimactic for me. Usually, it's just like it's more epic because you're fighting for your life to try and take out the final boss. And then also like there's no 24th character on the roster as everyone thought there would be. There's no 16th cameo. When we all saw just the silhouettes, we thought, okay, there's 16 cameos in the game. That's not the case. It's just a slot with a plus sign probably when they add DLC. So yeah, like a couple of things that I think are missing. And for me, just as somebody who likes to stream and play with his viewers, in the past Mortal Kombat games or just Injustice, you can go into rooms. And anybody who joined the room, like you can start a King of the Hill with them, or you can 1v1 a person. And this way it just makes it easier. So then you don't have to add anybody. They don't have that in Mortal Kombat 1 for whatever reason. So when I tried to play with my viewers, it became like a whole debacle. It was very difficult. So I hope that there's some quality of life stuff that I imagine they're listening and they're probably working on like literally as we speak.
Yeah.
So maybe in a bit of time we'll start seeing those officially added to the game. But overall, I think it's really fun. Combos wise, gameplay wise, a huge step up from Mortal Kombat 11. And yeah, the story is great. Like it's a really good time.
Which platform did you play it on, out of curiosity?
I'm on PS5.
PS5? Okay, 'cause I played the PC version, and there's some hiccups, especially with the transitions. And basically like the game, like with Mortal Kombat and how NRS like tell their story, like there's times you can't really like, oh, was that whole like cutscene like in-game engine or something like that, where that was just like a whole cutscene, and like it will just transition into the fight, but it does really well. There's like hiccups, like visual hiccups on the PC version, and even like at one point it's instead of saying like what the guy was saying in the subtitles, it just said like MK12 whatever. I was like, what? Okay, so everyone seems to be getting that one as well.
Yeah, they just some missing dialogue or some missing text.
Which I mean, same day launch. There's always going to be bugs. Like my thing is, so sorry, I'm trying to like backtrack. I feel like summer has just been one whole month. But when did the beta come out for this, Caboose? As you're off screen.
The beta?
Yeah. Or the early access. Sorry, early access.
Sorry, I had to let out my cat. The beta was, I think
After
it was
Summer Game
halfway
Fest, right?
through August. Well, they had the stress test in June.
That's what I'm thinking.
That was like the first hands-on that a lot of people got. But the official beta was like halfway through August, if I remember.
Yeah.
So it's not a connecting issue with your community. It's just like in terms of how they do lobbies, essentially.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's not like I can't connect you to like internet issues. It's because like in the past Mortal Kombat games, they had a function or like an online feature where you join a room or you can create a room. And like, I think 32 people can join the room, and those 32 people can 1v1 each other. You can start a King of the Hill with 8 people, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that like that wasn't top of mind, because it's like this Mortal Kombat has been so highly anticipated. So many creators have been in on this with their communities. I feel like that was like a feature. Obviously, the game needs to run, but a feature that, you know, fans would be looking forward to, especially. Also, it's publicity in a sense, because you're going to have these creators that are going to want to stream with their communities as well.
Exactly.
So that's interesting.
Even I don't know if it was introduced in MK11 or before then, but they had like an online mode where it's just practice mode but online.
Yeah.
And right now that says coming soon, so it's coming. But it's weird that stuff like that isn't available at launch.
Yeah.
And
Especially
to me,
they've done it before.
exactly. So to me, it
Wait,
just starts
practice mode
to
isn't available right now.
So there is practice. You can do
Like
practice by
online
yourself,
practice mode.
but there's an online practice mode that they have in Mortal Kombat 11 where you can invite a friend into practice mode.
Oh,
So you and a friend
I
can just
see.
like lab and learn combos, and it's not necessarily like you have to worry about a time limit or you have to worry about, okay, well, I won the round, let's reset this, that. Like you're in practice, but with another person.
Yeah.
Didn't
And
they
so
replace
that's
that though with the, because I think you can create your own server though, like you can kind of create your own private instance in online, I think, right?
so you can make your own King of the Hill, but you can't create a private room, which is
okay,
another
okay.
thing again
Another
that
thing missing.
that
Yeah.
they're missing. The
Got it.
the practice mode, it's there when you go online, but it's grayed out and it just says coming soon when you hover over it.
Got
So I guess it's on the way, but it's weird. It feels like this doesn't feel unfinished, like Cyberpunk unfinished or something
Yeah.
like that. But it feels like, okay, like we are 90% there. That other 10% they're just like, okay, forget it. Like just push this out the door really quick.
Yeah.
We'll get that
Yeah.
last 10% post launch. You know,
Even-
even crossplay was at one point totally confirmed. I remembered, and I feel
Yeah.
like I got
Yes.
gaslit
Yeah, no,
that it was
no, no.
on the FAQ page for the Mortal Kombat website, but they said now it's not going to make it for launch. It's coming post launch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, did they
So-
give time?
Not
Yeah.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
for a competitive, okay,
They need it. That's got to
Yes,
be
it's
priority number
like-
one right now.
that's
Yeah.
what it's like. This is stuff I feel like in Caboose MK11's feels like so long ago, but when
Yeah.
it launched, I feel like those were there.
So
well, at least the
crossplay
online
wasn't.
stuff.
Yeah,
The
a lot
online
of those
stuff was.
online features were there. Rooms, practice mode online. Crossplay came a little later.
Mhm.
But again, just because it came later, everyone was expecting, okay, by the time we get to the next game,
It'll just
this will be like a
default
fully
thing. Yeah.
implemented feature, right?
Yeah.
But still, like, there's a couple of things missing here. It's a little weird to me. Even down to like, and this is me, like, I'll be honest, like nitpicking, but when you play ranked online, it doesn't do like the character intro with them talking to each other. It literally just jumps into your character doing your like intro animation and then you play. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I kind of missed like
No,
just
but I enjoyed the intro as well.
the
That's
warm-up
the
feeling.
best part. Like
But
as
are
well.
all I'm
so-
here
playing in
for is
ranked?
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
cutscenes.
Yeah.
I love the intros. I'm not playing in
Mhm.
ranked. Like I feel
Me
like the
neither.
majority of people playing in ranked are like
Maybe
games
just want to jump right in.
jump
That's
right
fair.
into
That's
it.
fair.
So like maybe that's why they made that decision. But
Yeah.
hopefully, like I feel like the crossplay is the big one because there's a lot of people that were planning their tournaments
100%.
for MK1's release, and obviously like the community knew it was coming, but
Mhm.
it's just like it's really hard to organize a tournament when people play on so many different platforms.
Yeah.
Especially with like NRS games, which is common.
Yeah.
Even something like pinning your own, like if you want to learn a combo, you can't pin combos at
so
all.
weird.
Which is
that's
really
not-
weird because it's something
Yeah.
that's always been there, even from like Injustice days.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
it's-
From
yeah.
like Injustice 1, if you're in practice mode, you can like if you see a string or a combo or a special move,
Yeah.
you can pin it. So then when you go back to the game, it's always on screen. That's just not here in Mortal Kombat. They acknowledge
interesting.
that. They acknowledge that. So they're going to obviously add it.
Yeah.
But again, like, okay, in my mind, to put the tinfoil hat on, I don't think Mortal Kombat 1 was even supposed to be the game that was next from NetherRealm Studios after MK11. I think it was supposed to be Injustice 3 or maybe even something brand new.
Mhm.
But because of the merger with Warner Brothers and Discovery, they had to be like, okay, we got to do something safe. We don't want to get sold off essentially because there was all these rumors about WB Games getting kind of the chopping block, or maybe they're going to sell Rocksteady, maybe they're going to sell NetherRealm. So NetherRealm's like, okay, well, we need to stay here. Let's stay safe. So Mortal Kombat sells. Let's just shut down whatever we're working on here and just switch over to another Mortal Kombat. And so it doesn't feel like rushed, but it feels like they were really pushing it out the door before they were fully ready, you know, because they haven't even announced a pro tour. And a large reason as to why I'm sure they haven't is because they want to get crossplay implemented first.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that should be happening right now, you know, get people ready and hyped, getting all the competitive players practicing like crazy,
Yeah.
prepared for whatever's coming next on the competitive scene. but we're all in the dark right now, and so we'll see.
Well, and I think a lot of the casual audience, like the people that aren't playing ranked and not playing competitively, like you know, yeah, exactly. Like when I go in to play MK1, when I start it, I'm gonna be playing for the story. I'm gonna probably try to like, you know, destroy some of my family members. Probably fail in the process. But then, you know, the core community for Mortal Kombat is looking for those competitive features. Yeah. So I feel like that is like, even though it's not like as bad as a Cyberpunk launch, I feel like it is a missed opportunity to have the community like completely on board and like, yes, this is so good, especially because everyone was raving about the beta and the stress test. Like everyone was just raving. It was already having such a good reaction. So it's like, I kind of been busy. So I kind of even forgot MK1 was coming out today. And I feel like in my circle, and I do have FGC people in my circle, they're not like talking about it as I thought they would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so woof, those Natara voice lines. I love Megan Fox, but they saved
the best of it for that trailer specifically.
Yeah.
And they certainly hit a whole lot of not great stuff.
Do you think it's a writing issue for those lines?
I don't know.
It could be like she's never done like voice
acting.
Could be.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like she doesn't know how to emote.
She's
like
an actress. She has to do like the I forgot the acronym for it, but when you do your audio over your acting, right?
Right, ADR, yeah.
ADR. Yeah. So it's like, come on, Megan. Do that. It's that.
Yeah, I don't know. That was rough.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It seems so out of place, like because in the story when you get to her, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
compared to like all the other characters that are like sort of Miles brother, like basically that are around her at that moment, it's like, oh, really? Okay, I think maybe some extra takes could have helped.
It was like S tier voice acting that made it really apparent that she's very green.
Yes,
I think that's part of it too, right? Is that like everyone kind of surrounding Megan Fox. They're doing really well. Like
Shang Tsung voice actor needs an award because just hearing his voice, I'm like, oh, I hate this guy. Cause you just like, but he makes you feel that because that's the guy you're supposed to hate, and he's like his performance outstanding, I must say.
So good. I mean, I think they got the guy who voiced Jin from Ghost of Tsushima to voice Scorpion. He's great.
Really
I'm not sure who's voicing Sub-Zero. I know it's not Steve Blum anymore, but man, he sounds menacing as hell. It's
absolutely
good. So and good.
I'm gonna say one thing because it's like, okay, I don't really play Mortal Kombat. I mean, I've tried in the past and, I do okay, but this is like my first sort of like Mortal Kombat that I'm getting into. And I knew that like Baraka's voice is kind of rough.
Yeah.
But I like minor spoiler of this. There's like, he kind of like, there's a bit of like a story there. Baraka that I'm like, even when you're doing that rough kind of like super like there's a lot of emotion there, and I'm like, oh shoot, okay.
And then we have Megan Fox talking like this the whole time.
Exactly.
But we have I'll get you. Yeah, they had her hissing the majority of the game. By
maybe they realized
that. And then her dialogue is Megan, but like someone else dubbed over her like fighting sound effects. Like she didn't stick around for the for that stuff, so someone else kind of covered that for her.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you have voice actors that's done Diablo 4, Modern Warfare, Ghost, like you said, Caboose, as well as Yakuza, Red Dead. So it's like you have these, as Sam said, like S tier voice actors. So I think it probably makes it more apparent. It feels bad, man, for her going through that. But it's interesting because Caboose, you have like, this kind of like, you're obviously excited for the game, but then you being in the community for so long, you have like your reservations about certain things. But then Steve, on the other hand, like best game for like blind gamers, right? So like Steve, from that perspective, like how, like, what is it that makes it? I know you mentioned like off the top some of the features, but like, is there some like one thing that really stands out to you?
Surprisingly, it's definitely the story. I mean, I know that like NetherRealm does really well when it comes to like their stories in not only just Injustice but also in previous Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah.
And that has been a strong suit for them. It was just surprising that even with the fact that this is a reboot of the whole series, I was still able to kind of like able to follow along and understand that, okay, we're not in the same Mortal Kombat realm that we've been in, but I could see that there are like, okay, there's definitely been some changes that has happened in this, and I love that they kind of start off like very like if you've never played Mortal Kombat before, I think it's like this kind of like a great sort of soft reboot to get into it without really knowing all of the lore, and that's the thing I kind of gravitate to the most. And I don't know, it's just it as far as like a fighting game, like I like in and of itself, there's a lot there that essentially, like as a casual fan, like I can jump into, like I could play the story, or I can practice some fighters, or I can, you know, jump into them online, and that alone is just enough for me to kind of get myself like going to be able to kind of practice and get better with a fighter. I think like all the extra stuff is yeah, sure, I could definitely see that. I would love to be able to like for the community in general, like it'd be great to have, and I think that that'll just add more extra stuff as it goes. But I think for me, knowing that they're going to also provide, like they're going to do future support, like they're post launch, they're going to do some, they're going to do more updates post launch. To me, it tells me, okay, they've got a roadmap. They may not have been able to release everything that they may have wanted to or announced, or all the stuff that you had said, Caboose, like what they would have had at launch. I could see them eventually like adding as they go.
Oh, 100%.
So that it basically adds more stuff for players that definitely need it. 100%. Yeah, sure. It would be great to be able to have stuff for like veteran players to be able to jump in and do the things they want to do right away. But I like for me, yeah, again, as a casual fan, it's great for what I've been able to play so far.
And that's the case for most people, probably even a large majority of people. They just want to jump in. You have the ability to play online. You have the ability to play with your friends. Invasions is there. The story is there. Most of the features that you need from this game are there. Everything that I'm talking about is like 100% they're going to add it down the line. It's all just quality of life fixes. It's all stuff that like maybe even a month from now, I'll be looking back like, yeah, it was fine. Like let me just enjoy the game and play Combat League or play online with my friends for like a month. And then, you know, then we get into like the DLC characters and things like that. And then they start adding rooms into the online mode, the practice mode online, and so on and so forth. The only thing that I feel like was missing from launch was just a bit more in terms of customization. But I don't know. I don't know if they were purposefully kind of dumbing it down a little bit so that we didn't have to worry too much about the grind and repetitive gear and this and that. But I do wish that there was more that I can do with the characters. So like Reptile looks so cool.
Yeah.
But like there's so many different masks I can get with him that can make him look even cooler. I wish that I can get like different gauntlets too, like different hoods or whatever, you know, like just stuff that like lets you show off a little bit online. That kind of stuff is some of my favorite things from Injustice 2 and MK11, and always needed a bit more refining. But I feel like they it's really, really bare bones in MK1.
I want the stuff that they were showing off in the story mode, because some of those characters look cool. Like,
yeah,
I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
So
and you know it's coming though, because they showed off that stuff. Yeah.
That's assets that are already created. So yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. One more quick thing I want to ask about MK is that why is it that it's so like, I never realized for character selections you couldn't just select your skin. You had to go into a whole separate menu and like save it by default. So you can't really swap skins like easily. Was that always the case with MK games?
Well, so that was tough, or that's what's tough too, is that so Mortal Kombat 1 doesn't have variations anymore.
Okay.
So in MK11 especially, like you had different loadouts, right? So this Noob Saibot loadout has XYZ move, and this other one has a different set. And with that, you know, one Noob Saibot loadout could have a certain skin and certain gear, another one could have a different set. You can't really do that in Mortal Kombat 1. So like if I don't know, if I wanted to jump back into character select after playing a match online with a buddy and I wanted to just change my skin, I couldn't just like choose another loadout in Mortal Kombat 1 because there's no variations.
Yeah, because I had a lot of people being like, "Hey, how do I get Jean-Claude Van Damme for Johnny Cage?"
Right.
And I'm like, totally forgot he was even in the game because I didn't see the option to even do it.
Yeah,
you had to go into like
complicated
customs
too.
and like the palette change. It was a whole Lost Woods type of trial. You had to go
UI
through.
is a little weird because, like you said, you go into the customization menu, and when you select a character, there's gear and then palettes, and for some reason, under palettes is where your skins are. I feel like if they named it skins, then the subset of that is palettes. That's just it's a bit better, because everyone knows skins are skins, like alternate skins, right?
Yeah.
When you hear palettes, it's like, I don't want to change the color of my character. I want to change my skin. So maybe you don't even go there.
A lot of people just skip right over it. No, exactly. Yeah.
So I agree that again, it's quality of life stuff that I'm sure they're going to take in the feedback for and fix in due time.
Yeah, it didn't stop me from playing and enjoying the story whatsoever, which is what I was going in to do in the first place. Yeah. I love how NRS tells their stories, and I feel like a lot of fighting games should like adapt, like just tell some type of story, even if it's goofy or something like that. This one goes wild. I'm like, I was enjoying every moment of it, and I really wish that more fighting games could adapt it instead of like the classic like slideshow like drawing and a voiceover maybe, or just reading a text. So good on them for at least doing like a full 6-hour gameplay or something like of story mode, which is absolutely insane. So we're gonna move next to the Nintendo rumors, which doesn't seem to be rumors anymore because of some leaked documentation that just came out today. Apparently, the upcoming Switch, the next generation code name, or maybe that was just the file name, is just NG Switch. It's gonna be. We'll talk about we'll do this in stages here because we got a whole road to go here.
There's a lot.
Yeah. So apparently, the next coming Switch is gonna be as powerful as a PS4 and an Xbox One, and then it's gonna use some DLSS magic and other upscaling magic as well. Was that a shock to you guys or anything? Or was that like, yep, that's just typical Nintendo?
That sounds right.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Apparently, it was also running the what's it called? The Matrix demo that came out as well.
See, that I'm a little skeptical on, because when that sort of rumor came out was because they were like, people were like, the rumor was that it was sort of comparable to PS5 and DLSS and all that stuff, and I'm like, no, there's no way in hell that Nintendo's going to be able to make something like that without sacrificing weight and battery life. And like, there's when the leak of Activision, which makes sense because the lineup, the timeline of it would have made sense with Microsoft talking with Activision and Nintendo because of the 10-year deal of Call of Duty coming to the Nintendo Switch, which was announced 3 months later after this meeting. It would make sense that they would potentially have seen the new Nintendo Switch. And by them saying it's more comparable to PS4 and Xbox One, that is more on par with what I was expecting from Xbox, or sorry, from Nintendo, in that they wanted a device that, yes, is better than what it had in the past, but still keeping it affordable hardware wise for players.
Yeah.
I think it also makes I think I wouldn't count it out to run that Matrix demo, but downgraded. And that's what I think it would be. I think, when I think back to the library of Nintendo consoles, it's always like their consoles, you don't need the latest graphics because they always put style, like a certain art style, on all of the like Nintendo in-house games, like the Nintendo developed games that usually people buy the consoles for, and you don't really lose anything by not having like crazy graphics. I feel like for every console there's always rumors, oh my gosh, the graphics could do this, who cares? Like, I want to know what games are going to be on it, and like, if when I'm looking at something that we're labeling as a Switch 2, is it going to be affordable, and am I going to be able to take it everywhere?
Yeah,
right?
That's the big thing, right? Yeah. And that's why, like, we're like, forget graphics, forget Unreal Engine 5 demo, this, that. It's like with Nintendo, that's never been the mantra. You know, they make great games, and like you said, Camille, it's never been about these games are like a visual feast. You know, for like Zelda looks great in its own way with a different art style, and like it doesn't need to be that I can see I can see the pores on Link's head. You know, like it's never about that, and more so, like more than anything, it's about what's kind of, and I mean this the best way possible, what's like the gimmick, right? With the Wii, it's like you have the Wiimote, you have the nunchuck, right? You're playing like Wii Tennis. There are all these different like funky things, like family friendly stuff. With the Switch, it's the fact that you can take it on the go. You can bring it anywhere with you.
You can just dock it, no problem.
Play some games on your TV still, right? And so now what we're all wondering, of course, we're going into the next Nintendo console. What is the gimmick? What's that thing?
Or I'll say innovation.
Yes. Okay. That's a better way to say. Yes. That's a better way to put it.
Gimmick seems sinister. I'll say innovation.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was trying to. I mean it in the best way possible.
I know.
Yeah. But yes, we're all wondering what's the innovation of the next Switch.
And like when I think back to even like, you know, the jump to the Wii from the GameCube. Was it GameCube?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's like I never thought there would be this motion controller with speakers in it. You know, like, and like even the DS. I'm thinking about like the little mic and playing WarioWare and having to like blow into the mic to blow up some balloon to make it pop. You know, so it's like I feel like I don't even know what I would want the next innovation to be. But I know, like, the success that they've had with the Switch, you have to have something that's portable, right? Like, right?
It has to. There's going to be something on the go.
And then also
the real. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think we have to stop calling it a Switch 2 because I think it's going to be a completely different thing, like a completely different innovation.
I think so.
They're going to call it something new.
I'm still hoping for the Super Nintendo Switch because that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
But that's just me. But I agree with you all. But because the thing is too is that. And this kind of ties into what we'll eventually be talking about with regards to Xbox, in that Nintendo is not like the success for them has never really been necessarily based on just hardware alone, because they had the Wii and it was a giant success across the board, reached so many different demographics outside of gaming in and of itself that like my mom wanted to get a Wii just because she thought it looked fun, and it's like so many people bought that just for it of itself. But then when they followed it up with the Wii U, it basically flopped. It didn't do as well, and it was only just a small, like a different iteration because it had a screen instead, and but it still had the basics of what it is. And then they followed that up with the Switch. So their hardware, you can't rely on the hardware to being a guaranteed success for Nintendo. So what I'm hoping is that they are learning from that, and that they are still keeping it subtle, and that, you know what, the Switch works. We like it basically it fills that market of our handheld plus our normal console that we've always had. Now they basically combine the two divisions into one, and now we're gonna have a console that is a little bit upgraded than the previous one. I hope that's what they go for, but you're right. There's that gimmick that the thing is, it's like, Nintendo, good at Nintendo, we don't know what they're gonna do. They could, like, any gimmick we could come up with would may not even make sense compared
this
to
new
what
one
they
you can use
have.
with your foot, like
or something. I don't know. So it's definitely something that I hope is going to be a sort of a bigger kind of more like a Switch Pro in a sense than necessarily new Switch.
Do you really think a Switch Pro would be accurate? Because, like, think back to the rumors of when the OLED model came out, right? Or when it was about to come out. There were a lot of rumors of, like, what that would be. And I feel like if we didn't get the OLED, then I would totally be with you, Steven, being like, yeah, this is going to be like a Switch Pro version.
Yeah.
But we got the OLED.
That's true.
And it's like, we're also on to this gen, and that is their last, like, that is this gen for them is last gen for everyone else, right? So it's like,
yeah.
So it's like, I feel like, And the Switch had a long life. So I feel like whatever comes out after it has to be that, what Sam was saying, like that completely new thing.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it maybe that like they do have a bit of a separate thing where there is a console that's connected to the TV, but also it's controllable by a handheld mode. Like, I don't
hope
know,
they
like
keep that.
Like the Wii U basically thing where you have like a tablet plus the TV. I don't know. Like they could go back to that. Again, Nintendo zigs when we think they should zag. It's like they constantly are always like changing expectations. And I think at this point it's like, okay, if they're saying it's going to be definitely new hardware, it's going to be able to like have like PS4 and equivalent of PS4 and Xbox One style graphics. I'm like, okay, I could see that. And anything else is just, we have no idea what Nintendo's going to do.
I hope they bring back the vitality sensor. That'll be fun to see. The whole finger trap thing.
Yeah. That was a weird moment.
Where that whole Wii, when they were running out of ideas for the Wii and then they're doing Wii music, that was a special time in Nintendo life, that's for sure.
Like, we do have mobile, right? Nintendo's been exploring mobile. Like, I wonder if the next console is something where you could switch it to your TV or switch it to mobile. Like, that'd be really cool.
That could be cool. Yeah.
I wish I knew. I wish I had a sneak peek.
What do you guys think we'll find out?
I'd say Game Awards earliest.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do Game Awards.
Or spring of 2024, I think we'll know.
Yeah. I think spring. Yeah, when have we had like a major announcement from Nintendo at the Game Awards?
That's fair.
Nothing really,
right?
I don't think,
why,
other than
like having their own
why
moment.
not? But why not now? This could be it.
Because this is like the biggest. This will be the biggest Nintendo news after like the success of this console. It's like you want that to live on Nintendo's like channels.
That's fair.
True.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not to say that's unprecedented. I mean, Xbox launched the Series X on the Game Awards, so who knows?
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die on that hill and say it's gonna be announced at the Game Awards. I'm gonna Jeff's
are we
gonna pull
going
off
to the Game
something.
Awards?
That's right.
I'm
We're gonna get a hands down.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Bet a drink on it.
Definitely spend a drink. We'll drink with Doug Bowser too with the celebration of the announcement.
Yeah, we'll find Doug at the JW and be like,
good, Doug. You did it, buddy. You did it.
There you go.
Very quickly, I guess is Elder Scrolls, an upcoming 1.6. Not coming to PlayStation. I didn't find this a big shocker. Did any of you find this a shocker whatsoever?
Starfield? No.
Yeah.
I think this was just like the news that everyone knew was coming and then forgot about it because we were all obsessed over Starfield and everything else that
I just can't get over. I can't get over the internet getting angry over this.
I know. Same. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
Where are any of you guys when the biggest IP in the world is exclusive to PlayStation? Like exactly. Spider-Man is a PlayStation exclusive. You guys are really going to at this point, it's like Xbox. They don't just have a ton of ground to make up. Like they're at the very bottom, in terms of their exclusives. And it's time. Like they got Starfield. Finally, they got a big win. Like they got a big win. People loved it. It's selling like crazy. That's huge for Xbox. That is huge. Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be the next probably big win.
Well, you know what? I think it's like, okay, when did Elder Scrolls 5 come out? What year was that?
Skyrim.
Oh boy.
2013.
So I think
right?
Yeah, it was like
preschool,
10.
Yeah.
2011, right?
2011. Okay.
So that puts us
my
at
God.
quick math, 12 years difference, right? I think like we're used to seeing like the console shift for a franchise like this. Like this, I think I'm trying to think of another franchise that had a console shift, like an exclusivity console shift at this that's a title of this magnitude. And I can't think of anything. And I think that's
maybe
why.
Spider-Man.
But no, when was Spider-Man has always been on PlayStation available, at least. It's only when Insomniac Spider-Man came out it's like the first of Insomniac's Spider-Man.
Well,
do you get what I'm saying? Like it's different if it's it's different if it's like they're switching developers. It's a completely new type of experience, and it's only, I think why the internet's getting upset is because it's like this generation is still growing up with this franchise, right? Like this is only 12 years, and people were playing the heck out of Skyrim years after, right? So it's like, I think for them to now be like, oh crap, like this is now an exclusive when I could have played it on PC, I could have played it on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever it is. It's like, this is so weird because I can't think of another game that's done this, so I understand it. I'm just hoping that one day we do get past these exclusives. Like, I understand, like, if Microsoft or Xbox is developing a game and that is like theirs, like that is known for them. I understand. Yes, now they have the studio, so it's technically them. But I get it. It's like, we talk about these console wars, and I think when this gen was coming out or rumored to come out, we were kind of all over the idea of console wars in that conversation. But like moves like this kind of propel that. Yeah. So it's kind of like
Yeah, I get it. But
it is a smart business move. Like
it's exactly. It's one of those things where listen, they acquired Bethesda. Microsoft owns them now. They call those shots, and the best thing, at least if we were to look at it glass half full, is with Starfield, with a majority of Xbox exclusives, they almost always day and date come to PC as well.
Yes.
And on Game Pass as well.
And on Game Pass. And so it's like when Elder Scrolls 6 rolls around, the only people who are missing out, unfortunately, are PlayStation, or I guess you can go like Nintendo players.
Yeah.
Because PC players, which still make up a huge chunk of people who play video games in general, they'll be in. They'll be in on it. They'll be able to play it still, which is great. Like you said, Camille, it's a smart business move. Like,
it is smart. They're going to make lots of money.
They're going to make a ton of money.
A ton of money.
And people are going to be buying Xboxes because of that game.
I don't think so. See,
really?
That's where I disagree. I don't think anyone's buying an Xbox for this. People will be buying Game Pass for this to play on their PCs. Because I'm thinking gamers now, a lot of gamers stream, we have PCs.
But not a lot of, that doesn't make up a ton of a large chunk of
like, you mean like the more casual,
the
casual.
They're definitely a much more larger market.
And I don't think they'll buy it. I don't think they'll buy a console for that.
What would you think a casual gamer would want if they want to get their hands on the next Elder Scrolls? Are they going to spend $2,000 on a PC, or are they going to spend like $300 on a Series S?
They'll miss out. Yeah. I'm telling you, I feel like most people will wait a year because we still don't know how long this will be exclusive.
I'm telling you, Camille. I'm telling you.
It's locked in.
Like the thing. Like,
this is locked in. This is not timed exclusive.
This is locked in.
Is it locked? Is it locked?
If Starfield is not, coming to PlayStation
Elder Scrolls definitely, will be like locked.
Did they say Starfield's not moving ever?
They said they canceled the production of the PlayStation version 5, a while ago.
Oh, okay, so then it's not moving. But I feel like a lot of the casual audience, and maybe this is just because like all of my friends are just now getting older, they're older gamers. It's like a limited time for a casual audience. There's also other great titles of games that are coming out on hardware that they already own. And because games are so expensive right now, and the hardware that you're playing games on, it's like that whole idea, I think, from 10 years back of like, okay, I'm going to buy a PlayStation for this PlayStation exclusive. It's not as apparent because they probably have a PC that they could upgrade in order to play like something like Elder Scrolls 6, or they'll just wait or not play and play something else.
And I know this is only one example. Like this obviously doesn't prove one way or the other because I think everyone is different. My brother bought an Xbox Series X, sold his PlayStation, sold all of his games to be able to buy an Xbox Series X specifically for Starfield.
Wow.
He wanted it because he wanted to play Starfield.
Wow.
He loved Bethesda that much. He wanted to be able to play Starfield, and that's exactly why. So the idea of it being a console seller is 1000% like true. And I think spending $300 on an Xbox Series S, if I like it, like to be able to like find out, I could play Starfield on this cheaper Xbox. Yeah, I'll pay $300 to be able to do that.
That's true.
And then knowing that the Elder Scrolls is going to be also on Xbox. Like, okay, great. Then finding Game Pass, like it opens that up. Like
It's a snowball effect.
The snowball effect, 100% is
and
that's why it's a console seller.
If they wait a little longer, Phil's gonna buy Steam and Nintendo.
He's not buying those. But also, like the rumors of their new console, the Xbox Series Refresh or whatever it is,
Brooklyn.
Is it the Brooklyn or the Refresh? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Whatever
it's
it
a code
is.
name. Yeah, I like the code name Brooklyn. Actually, sorry, go ahead.
I know. I think it's like the Refresh.
cool
like it came out
names.
today.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
In the
And then
docs?
the controller is Sybil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The controller, that's the one. That's the huge seller for me. Okay, because I think what not enough people talk about, and what I think a lot of people subconsciously are noticing is why everyone's still going with PlayStation right now. It's the controller. That
100%.
PS5 controller is definitely, at least for me, outside of SSDs, whatever 4K, this that. That is the biggest leap that we've taken into the next gen. This DualSense controller, the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers.
Yeah.
I'm all
just
in
show that off.
on it.
Jeez.
Like even when we got the
Spider-Man, limited edition one.
Even when we got to play Spider-Man, like there was the side mission where I was like controlling a little spider bot. Normally, I'd be like, I just want to get back to playing as Spider-Man, But because of the DualSense and how interactive it is with haptic feedback, with the adaptive triggers, I was like, no, like this is fun and engaging, and like I'm more into this than I should be because I'm just playing as a stupid little spider drone when I could be playing as Spider-Man right now, And so the fact that new Xbox controller that we saw that it might be implementing haptic feedback, I didn't see adaptive triggers, but haptic feedback is like the key main thing. Yep. You need it.
Yeah.
And good on Xbox for like being like we're going to war. It's time. Like people love this thing. We're also doing that thing that people love, and the controller's smaller. It looks more ergonomic.
Yep.
It looks kind of like this. And so
it looks like it has pants on. It needs a little slight design.
That'd be the final design.
It does look beautiful.
But
it looks nice.
Yeah, I will say this. I definitely want to echo everything you said about the haptics for sure, because that is something that the DualSense does an amazing job, and it does great for accessibility too, because it has that more subtle haptics that you can be very precise with, that can be able to immerse a player in the game. And so for blind players, it's going to be will be huge for Xbox games as well. But also, we're also skipping the very important part. Finally, a rechargeable built-in battery.
I know.
Thank you.
No double A's, baby.
My double A's. Yes.
Finally, Xbox is moving into the 21st century.
Rejoice.
Xbox, Apple, they're all doing it.
All my Amazon batteries, what am I going to do with them now? I have a whole
Better
crate
use them up before.
That's why this is my daily driver. I have the Xbox Elite 2 because it's rechargeable. I can just put it into its dock and I can just recharge it, no problem.
I know. Yeah. No, honestly, I think so. Then do we think that we're going to see Elder Scrolls, because we see that the codename Brooklyn or this Xbox Refresh coming out next year? Do we see Elder Scrolls next year with it?
Well,
no.
Wasn't there? Okay,
No.
I don't know how deep we're going in on these documents, but wasn't there word that
There
it was
was
2026 at the earliest?
2026.
Yeah.
There was some there's another
announced
Ghostwire
next year.
game coming out and some other stuff coming out as well.
Really?
Yeah, I think they said announced maybe next year. But
They're doing a sequel to
Well,
Ghostwire Tokyo?
Yeah.
Yeah, sequel to Ghostwire.
I actually enjoyed that game. That was actually a really neat game.
It was
It was a little finger tricks
I'm
and
just
stuff
surprised. A game like that didn't seem like it was going for the franchise, and it didn't seem like it got the reception
Yeah.
to be like, oh, it's time to get this franchise heavy,
like that. Yeah. And guess
But
what?
yeah.
The sequel won't be coming to PlayStation at all, because the sequel, the
No,
first
it
one
won't.
is on
Yeah.
PlayStation.
That'll be exclusive.
So another
Yeah.
exclusive.
Well, it was because of the
Right.
deal. It'll be an exclusive. But no, I'm reading, this is from The Verge, and apparently the Refresh is supposed to, or the codename Brooklyn is supposed to come out next year.
There's
2024.
There's also another thing that's coming up with this refresher. No disk drive.
Yeah, it's completely
Well,
different.
I mean, honestly, though, I think that is smart. Like, although I'm in that old mindset of like, I need my disc.
I like my
like a lot of I like displaying the boxes. I like it.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of people don't. A lot of young kids these days like don't need that.
That's unfortunately true.
And it makes sense if that's what you have to do to make the hardware more affordable. It's just again another smart business move. So I'm gonna say I think we do see Elder Scrolls next year.
I think
the documents leaked though. What are you talking
about? You're talking about like a trailer, Camille, or like?
I think we're gonna see a trailer, and like we're gonna see Elder
trailer.
Scrolls.
Yes, I think.
I'll give you a trailer.
Not a whole game, of course not.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about a reveal?
No.
I'm like Camille. The answers are there, Camille. What are you doing?
Yeah, no.
I think there's a good chance we see a
trailer.
next year as well.
I think we see I think after Starfield, like that was their big Bethesda game, and like yes, they could drag this on for a while, and we know they will because it's Bethesda and it's a long servicing game.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be that, but I do think given the kind of jabs that Xbox has had with previous releases, they do need to announce like that next big thing.
Oh yeah.
Or like at least show.
Are we all forgetting Indiana Jones? Like
that's right, Indiana Jones. And that was in there.
You think we're gonna see? Wait, when is that roadmap to come in?
Didn't they originally
might be released next year?
Yeah, that document said fiscal year 2022 or something like that.
Even saying the next Xbox console is 2028.
Yeah, right. Well, that makes sense. I think that's when did these consoles? Well, actually, no. That's
and that one's supposed to be all cloud. Like that's why I'm saying this might be the last generation
hybrid cloud thing that they were saying, cloud and console, whatever.
No disc at
this
all.
This might be the last
but is that Brooklyn then? Isn't that Brooklyn?
Brooklyn is a refresher.
The test.
The test is to walk you in.
How many? Okay,
there was a lot.
One thing I want to see. I want to see naming of these Xbox consoles get a little better because I'm getting confused. Remember the Xbox Series X? Then we went the Xbox. Oh my gosh, what was the
Xbox One? And then Xbox One X.
One X. Yeah, that I can't keep up.
It unfortunately it all stemmed from when they made the Xbox 2, call it the 360. And it was mainly because they were going toe to toe with the PlayStation 3, right?
Yes.
And if you are little Timmy's mom on Christmas, are you going to get the Xbox 2 or the PlayStation 3, right? Yeah. And so
Xbox 3000
marketing.
They call it the 360. It's just for marketing. It sounds nicer. But then for some reason they took all that. That's a smart marketing move. They were like, actually, we're going to do that, but the opposite. And it worked the opposite effect. Who do people want to buy? Or what do people want to buy? Little Timmy's mom is at Walmart. The PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One.
Only one person got it. So
Do you think like after all these, because of this court case or the FTC case, do you think that we're actually going to see some of these things come earlier now that like kind of like the cookie's out of the jar? I feel like
earlier.
They're actually like as we've been recording, Phil Spencer has spoken up. He has put out a tweet. I'll put in the thing for us, but I will read it out. He says, we've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready.
That's
so
good
already,
PR talk.
all this could be completely
Let's go, Phil.
You know what though? I feel like, obviously leaks are bad. Leaks are never good.
Yeah.
But
especially when you do it.
But everything I was seeing looked pretty good to me,
I think here's the thing, like that, like it sucks that all of that leak, especially that, like, okay, emails leak all the time, especially with this whole FTC thing, that there's been some emails that kind of been dredged up during the whole case, but to have a 5-year not even
roadmap
roadmap of everything that they were thinking of, like it's rough to be able to have that. And so, but obviously things have changed. Like that document could have been made during the pandemic. Then a lot of things had switched. Like
even if it was made yesterday, it'll change by next year.
100%. Yeah. So like I can see some things are probably in the works that they will, that will become true. But I like it could be other things, because the one thing that they showed in that little document was like a little cloud streaming kind of device only, and it had and we already saw that got canceled essentially. So a lot of things could have like changed since then. Like that it's like what I think that document's probably like what 2021, 2022.
I'd have to imagine some of the bigger ticket items though are still they're not going to change too much. Like that new console is probably gonna look at least very similar to that.
Sure,
the new controller.
I like it. I want that one.
It looks. What is that, like a giant cylinder this time or something?
It looks like a half cylinder, like a half moon kind of thing.
Right. The controller, I'm so in on the controller. I literally cannot wait for them to announce that officially and get my hands on it.
Yeah.
Just because mainly for me, like I do love the PlayStation controller. This PlayStation controller, this one right here, I really love it. But for me, I'm always a bigger fan with Xbox controllers, the analog stick being up here.
Yeah.
So to get essentially a PlayStation controller, but with the analog stick the way I like them is very nice. So yeah, a lot of the plans that are laid out here look pretty good, and I imagine some of the big ticket items are not necessarily going to stay exactly the same, but I don't know if they're going to be drastically changed by the time we see them officially. And I mean, yeah, good on Phil, good PR talk, you know.
I mean, it definitely is a PR statement
for sure. But
I think it's like
good. It's good.
It basically adds to the Xbox transparency that we've kind of known from their leadership for a while. So I'm sure he was probably pissed all day today at Tokyo Game Show because he knew
that this was going to happen. Like those docs are public, right? At that time. So I think he knew, and I think it's smart of him, even though it is definitely Xbox PR writing this and or at least drafting it for him. I think it makes sense to address it, because then it kind of addresses my question of, do we think the timelines are going to change? By him stating these are old emails, that things have, he literally states that there's been changes. So I think we are probably going to see, when it comes to hardware, that won't change. When it comes to game releases, I can see them saying okay, we need to move that up to kind of make way for things that they don't even know that's coming, right? That hasn't been released in
Doom
this.
0 year.
Yeah.
Doom 0 year,
I just want to know what's happening.
Also, Dishonored 3.
Dishonored 3.
Oh God, I wish. That'd be awesome. But I'm looking at the emails, and they are from 2020, so I'm assuming everything that was leaked was around the same time.
Probably.
And
2020 was a crazy year.
Yeah.
No one was thinking
so
straight, it was a crazy
I'll
time.
tell you this, mark my words, and I don't think this is a very outlandish guess, but Game Awards. Next new console, the Brooklyn thing will be announced.
Going head to head with the Switch 2.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think
Doug Bowser I got this,
But Xbox first unveiled the Series X, like you mentioned, Marcel, at the Game Awards. I think it's a good spot. PlayStation likes to do their own thing. Nintendo likes to do their own thing. Xbox taps into the pop culture. So Game Awards probably show that new console. It's coming next year. Probably show the new controller with it as well.
Do we see any new games?
I'd imagine we'll see Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And you know what, Camille? I'm gonna throw in Elder Scrolls trailer for you. Why not?
This year.
That
would be wild.
One.
Maybe if there's a trailer, it'll literally be the title of the game.
I think we see more Fable.
Last time we got the picture, but this time we can get moving text.
So. I think we see more Fable, and I don't think we see Elder Scrolls at all. I think Elder Scrolls is a next year thing.
Yeah. I agree.
So another sort of breaking thing.
What is going on?
Let's go, Steve.
Apparently, Phil Spencer. There was a memo that he had sent out internally to throughout Xbox. He says, "I also know we take the confidentiality of our plans and our partners' information very seriously. This leak obviously is not us living up to that expectation. We will learn from what happened and be better going forward. We all put incredible amounts of passion and energy into our work, and this is never how we want that hard work to be shared with the community. That said, there's so much more to be excited about, and when we're ready, we'll share the real plans with our players. Now, that's a portion of the memo. If you go to The Verge, basically they have the full article, the full memo there.
So he's not buying Nintendo. All right, well, maybe next time.
I don't think anyone could buy Nintendo or like those. Like, I feel like it's always going to be the 3. Yeah. Imagine if Sega comes back and he's like, "We got a console." That'd be crazy.
Oh, he does say also in the memo, I know this is disappointing, even if many of the documents are well over a year old and our plans have evolved. So,
okay.
He's trying to do damage control, be like, this is not what's happening. Yeah.
Well, this is an internal memo. So this is like one of those, like, it was just to Xbox employees. So
that also got leaked.
Yeah, but stuff like this
stop
very
leaking, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No,
and
this feels like more orchestrated than what actually happened this morning.
Yeah, this is PR crisis. So.
Yeah, it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's like they have so many people on their team. It's like their team probably didn't even know. Like a lot of members that a new console was in the
I've
works.
been watching Succession. They totally planned this. Okay.
All right.
I know how this works now, okay? I watched a couple of episodes. I might as well be a CEO. All right.
There you go. Phil, I got it. Don't worry. I got this, Phil.
You just
take a seat.
Pass it over to me.
Game Awards. Don't worry, Phil. I got it. He comes up and introduces Brooklyn.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, if anyone goes near that stage, they're getting.
You're getting
mollywopped.
No, they are not. They are not at all. Okay.
You're getting catapulted off the stage.
Never.
Sure.
Never.
Yeah.
How many times have people just like gone on the stage at any Summer Game Fest? The Game Awards.
Happens again. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Here's
crazy.
hoping it doesn't happen.
Yeah. I might have to jump in and stop
2
someone.
out of 3 events, Jeff. I mean that's not that's a problem. That's not that's not an outlier.
Yeah, that's the real bet. Do we think someone will be on like some from the
That's
audience?
what putting drinks on.
Someone's
There we
bingo
go.
card.
No.
We need to start creating this bingo card that we're gonna have for the game.
Okay, but
Awards.
what happens if we're there and then we bet on it and no one does it? So then we just
I'm
go up.
going.
You just see Cabiz. Don't
All
worry,
of us in a row just sitting there like, I don't know this guy. I don't know this.
As
hey,
long
guys,
as you include
look, I'm
Clinton,
here.
Grand
He's
Theft
pointing
Auto
at us.
I just need the talking points. Bill Clinton, Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Or even
good.
just
I got
say,
you
Bill
guys.
Clinton, we want to see Wolverine.
You know what? Perfect. Yeah. All right. I'm prepared. I'll make sure.
Okay,
I'll spend the rest of
There
this
you
year
go.
getting ready for that. There we go.
All right. All right. Well, someone's not getting a ticket now. So, all right.
Yep.
To wrap up the show, Tokyo Game Show is coming out this week, and it's also another busy week of gaming as well. Liza P is out today because it came out earlier, one day earlier.
Yep.
Came out yesterday, so they surprised day early.
Yeah. Party Animals is out today as well, and an update 2.0 for Cyberpunk. Steve has a video coming up next week, is it? Or
Soonish. It's because of being sick, it got delayed, but
okay.
yeah. So
Steve coming up with the good content. I'm excited to see you. You're always a good storyteller, Steve. So I'm really excited for the 2 stuff you got coming up. So
There you go.
and so it's a kind of a light week because Cyberpunk DLC Final Liberty comes out next week, right? So
Phantom Liberty.
comes out, early. There's no early access. Oh yeah, you can get update
26,
2.0. You can get update 2.0 tomorrow, or basically as of recording. So basically on the 20th, and then Phantom Liberty comes out on the 26th.
Okay, perfect. So this is your chance to catch up on everything. Play Mortal Kombat, Starfield. You have this is your week to finish games before another wave of more games.
Don't sleep. Just finish your games.
Just don't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a job,
October.
quit it. Call in sick. This is
Because in 2 weeks
yeah.
from now,
Or
we got
just
like
quit.
Assassin's Creed Mirage.
There we go.
Like,
Payday 3 comes out Thursday, I think. Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
Oh,
Thursday.
that's right. There you go.
Yeah.
Incredible advice from the gaming podcast.
Yeah, we can start a whole life of crime with Payday 3. There you go. So
and it'll be available on Game Pass.
and it's on Game Pass as well.
Nice.
Caboose, what you got going on for this week? More Mortal Kombat, I assume.
More MK, doing a ton of streaming for Mortal Kombat 1 over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Caboose. And then still, that Spider-Man event was extremely overwhelming, especially the amount of time we had to play. So I feel like an unlimited amount of stuff to talk about. And there's so many other media outlets and content creators who got to attend that saw stuff or may have played and witnessed things that I didn't. So tons and tons of Spider-Man 2 content on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Caboose. And then outside of that, just keeping you guys up to date on everything that I got going on my Twitter and Instagram. That's at CabooseEK.
Awesome. I had to check out your. I saw the thumbnail. I didn't click on the video yet, but I saw you teasing Null. I was like, "What are you doing, Caboose? What are you doing?" So I gotta check that one out. For those who don't know, Null,
It's interesting.
Null is like the supreme of all the god of symbiotes, which is Venom and all that stuff. So I gotta check that video out for sure. I don't know what you're doing. You're a madman.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah.
Sammy, what's going on for you this week?
Doing some more writing for a gaming network. Sign up for our newsletter at gamingnetwork.com. And other than that, probably streaming because I'm a bad streamer. So trying to get back into that, playing more of Valhalla before Mirage comes out. And and that's at twitch.tv/PetusFans.
Yeah, at least you remember your name. That's perfect.
Yeah,
yeah. Mirage is coming out really soon, and the PC specs came out today, actually. So check out, look out for that. Steve, how about yourself?
Other than like I said, I'm working on Mortal Kombat 1 review and Cyberpunk. I'll be focusing on the update 2.0 stuff because that's more relevant for accessibility related stuff. But I might have some, Phantom Liberty stuff in there too. But we'll see. I'm kind of doing it a different way than probably other folks have been jumping into for that review. They got that, and then just some stuff coming up and. That's basically all I can really talk about right now.
Awesome. Check him out, Steve Sailor, everywhere. That's his name. So you have to.
Steve Sailor everywhere. But on Twitch and TikTok, I'm Blind Gamer Steve on there.
All right, there you go. Camille, so good to have you. What do you got going on for this week?
Honestly, this week I'm just catching my breath, trying to finish getting over this cold, enjoy life. I have tomatoes in my garden that I've been eating. They're good. Anyways, other than that, I may actually pop on my Twitch channel to stream. Also bad at streaming things, but I try to when I'm not working. Yeah, look at us. And then next week I have my eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series Championship in Charlotte at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So I'll be there. And then I have the Overwatch Grand Finals as well. So OWL Grand Finals happening. I'm hosting that. And then, of course, just here. And you can find all that everywhere at this Camco.
That NASCAR stuff is wild because at times I'm like, oh wait, this is actually a video game, and watching how the whole presentation you guys do it. And last week there was a crash. I was like, oh my god, someone's dead. But I'm like, oh, it's a video game.
Yeah, it looks so real.
It was like a whole car pile up. I was like, what is going on? This is wild. So that's awesome. For me, I'm gonna be checking out Dragon's Dogma. The anime comes out today, but I'm doing something with Capcom tomorrow. We do a little watch party, and trying to catch up on everything. Liza P, Party Animals, Starfield. I think I really reached to the poutine in the can part, and I was like, okay, I had to come back to this game. There's just too many games to play right now. And that's pretty much it going on with me. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.